Hi, I'm Edward Anthony, creator of The Disciplined Diet. I started off in the fitness industry about 20 years ago. I was a personal trainer. I quickly moved from a personal trainer to a training manager, where my responsibilities were hiring trainers, building a team, teaching trainers, and throughout the way I got certified in just about every certification you can imagine. I've worked with various nutritionists, different trainers in different aspects of the fitness game, and throughout the years I've learned a ton. I've also learned that lots of the things that I thought growing up were right about fitness were actually things just made up to make money. So in the industry you learn a lot of great things, and you also learn a lot of things that kind of make you sad. With anything involving money, obviously there's going to be points that money kind of takes over. And in the fitness industry, this was one of the things I noticed, and eventually one of the reasons that I decided to leave and do something on my own. But one of the things that always shocked or surprised me was when certain magazines that we see every day would come into the gym and they would say, hey, we're shooting an article on nutrition, or we're shooting an article on a new workout, and we want to have a trainer come in. We want to have a trainer come. We're going to take pictures. We're going to do a story on their workout, their diet, etc., etc. And I would say, okay, well, I have lots of great trainers, but as far as a trainer who has a great diet, or a trainer who has a great workout, or something innovative, this is the list. And they would look at me and say, oh, we don't need any of that. We just want them to look good. And that always bothered me because, kids like myself would pick up these magazines, and we read these things in the magazines. Oh, we're supposed to have 6 meals a day. We're supposed to have this much protein. I want to look like this guy. And to find out that that was all smoke and mirrors really upset me. And that's when I started to think and develop my own views and my own ideas on how to make people more successful with dieting and exercise. One of the biggest problems right now that we face as a race is diet. And the word diet's kind of tricky. When I came up with the disciplined diet, my friends who are more money people and make money, businessmen, they all said to me, Ed, you don't want to name this diet the disciplined diet, because the minute people hear the word discipline, they're not going to want to buy it. It sounds hard. It sounds like something that's hard to do. And my argument with them was, well, dieting is something that's hard to do. These people have spent their entire lives eating wrong, learning the wrong things, and to reprogram them and train them how to eat properly again, or a way to get that weight off quick, is not an easy task. So I wanted to keep the word discipline there because my dream is that the people who buy this diet, they do the diet, and they achieve results, and they change their lives. And of course, like anything else, with the fitness industry, I've seen it a million times. The way gyms stay in business is they get 1 million people to join, and 900,000 of them are paying every month and not coming, and 100,000 people are coming. And it's always bothered me. I'd rather people come into the gym every day and train. But it's the nature of the beast. And it's the same thing with these diets. If 100 people buy my disciplined diet and 90 do it and 10 don't because of the name, that's success for me. I want people to understand that this is not easy. This is a hard diet. But once you get through the first week, the change you're going to see in yourself is just unbelievable.
My name is Danielle Brookins, and I'm a dental hygienist. My goals ultimately are to be healthier. One, I have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, pre-diabetic, so I do not take medication. I don't want to take medication, so I want to try to reduce some of my weight so I can stay healthier.
So here with Danielle. Danielle has had an interesting journey here. She trained with me for quite some time, got down to a really good weight. She was working really hard, stopped training, put the weight back on, which, yeah, she blew it. But that's a common thing, and she decided to go on this journey on the disciplined diet. And tell us about it.
Well, I've done a lot of diets, and I knew a lot about nutrition, and that I just wasn't eating the right things that I should be eating. So I wasn't really surprised about the foods that you were eating, just the kinds that you were eating. so that was a lot different. And I found that that fit more into my lifestyle, so that wasn't as difficult. But the one thing I was the most shocked on was the amount of energy that I had and how that affects your workout. And it isn't just about exercise. That is the huge component, is the diet and your performance when you are exercising. So that was the most incredible thing.
Awesome. Did you find it, obviously you have kids, family, etc. Was it difficult to do the diet?
It actually wasn't in the beginning. It was because I'm still cooking for my family. I still cook all the meals. They obviously are not eating what I'm eating and eating the times that I'm eating. Mm-hmm. So in the beginning it was hard because you'd have cravings and you'd want to sample what you're cooking. But as the time grew on, I just didn't even have a desire to do that. But I'll tell you, the one thing that has made the biggest impact on me is my habits and how that affects my kids and how they view me. And it changed one of my daughters and how she's making better choices now. That's and awesome. I didn't push it on her. She's just watched me through this whole thing, and that has been the most amazing thing, is to watch her and see her trying to make the choices that are good for her, that hopefully she'll follow through the rest of her life with.
That's awesome. We talked before about like the real goals and changing people's lives in a positive direction. And those are the ones we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely exciting. Do you plan on staying with this and continuing?
I do.
Awesome.
I know it's going to be difficult. I haven't reached my goal. I don't even know what my weight goal is going to be.
Right.
We'll see what happens. But I definitely like how I feel. I'm feeling so much better. I had headaches every single day. There wasn't really very many days when I didn't. Mm-hmm. And the only time I had a headache during this when I was detoxing the first 3 days. I have not had a single headache.
I remember your headaches.
All.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
So.
Any other health changes or?
Well, I did get my blood drawn, and I haven't gotten the results back yet. But I'm anxious to see what my cholesterol levels are because they were high.
Yeah.
And I was pre-diabetic, and I would like to see what my blood sugar is now. So that is to come, and I will have that information for you soon.
Awesome.
But definitely feeling so much better.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Thank you.
No problem.
My name is Peter Rivera. I am a college student and I work at a grocery store. I've been active all my life, but I've never really been able to take my shirt off and be proud of what I see, so that'd be nice. My nickname is Gordo, which means fat boy in Spanish and Portuguese, so losing the nickname would be a good place to start.
So, Mr. Gordo, out of everyone here, you lost the most weight on the disciplined diet. Really, really incredible results you had. Why don't you tell us all, your feelings on the diet?
This has been really emotional for me, especially today, and I think for anybody who's been on the diet, and they'll attest to this, and for anybody who's coming into the diet, the value of not being content with your current fitness goals and always looking to achieve more and more, that's how you're going to go far with this. It's rough sometimes. There's a reason it's called a disciplined diet, but you need to be able to maintain discipline and focus on where you want to be at the end of this. And that, more than anything, is what I've gotten out of this so far.
How has it changed your life?
I honestly had resigned myself to being like the chunky kid in the group out of my friends. It wasn't a good feeling. I didn't like looking at myself in the mirror, which I can tell you is not fun. But now I feel incredible. I honestly feel like I can do just about anything if I set my mind to it. And as corny as that sounds, it's true.
It's awesome. Do you, was there ever a day that you went off the plan?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
I actually bought my mom, oh my God, this huge raspberry Danish. I had a couple pieces of that, and then for dessert, that was dessert, but for dinner, I looked through the house. There was just about everything there, but I grabbed the Greek yogurt because I wanted dairy. That's my weakness. Immediately, I felt, I kind of messed up. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Did it make you feel sick?
Yeah. during the diet, I didn't have a problem with my asthma. The day after, my asthma came back, my stomach hurt, I was feeling lousy, my jiu-jitsu was off. Not worth it at all.
Tell us about your health, the asthma, what you saw when you were on the diet.
When I was on the diet, my asthma basically just took a hike. I can go an entire training session, I can train like a demon basically and just feel amazing afterwards. But yeah, this disciplined diet definitely gave me a lot more energy on the mats and a lot more confidence to really push myself, you know, in terms of my fitness goals.
And what was that total number you lost again?
I lost 34 pounds.
I'm proud of you, buddy.
Thank you, Coach.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
John Thomas. I'm a sales engineer. You know, I've always had a pretty good exercise program, but you know, the diet portion of the whole equation has always kind of been the part that's been missing. So hoping to bring that together, and if I can get down maybe 15 pounds or so, that would be ideal. And of course, I'm sure the wife would like it if I get the abs like Channing Tatum. So that's the other goal. This would be very tangible.
So we're here with my good pal, John Thomas. You know, I've been training John for a long time, and he was always kind of obsessed with being a bigger guy. And I decided to take this journey with me and the rest of the group. And you lost how much?
28 pounds.
28 pounds. And how do you feel? I know that when you first started, you were concerned about losing your strength and your mass. So tell us about that.
Well, I've been able to really maintain a lot of what I've been lifting before. I mean, I think my bench press maybe been down 5 pounds on each arm, but you know, whatever. But still feeling really strong and really good. And you know, my cardio has just gone through the roof. I mean, just not getting winded at all. Running 3 miles, no clip. There are no worries there. And that's been a big improvement to the cardio, and just feeling so much lighter. I mean, I'm carrying around 28 less pounds, so it's a lot easier to get those miles in.
How has the diet changed your life?
I've never looked or cared or paid any attention to what I was actually eating. So now I'm actually making decisions about what I eat, what I put in my body, which is, you know, something I've never worried about before. You know, I always thought that, you know what, I exercise a lot, and I always have. But I'm learning that it's a big part, probably more like 70-30 as far as, you know, diet to exercise. Mm-hmm. It's important to do both, but I think the diet was definitely my missing link for a long time. And I didn't realize that I was fat still, because, you know, as I said, I thought I'd exercise enough and wouldn't have to worry about it, but I was definitely wrong, and this kind of turned it around.
Can you tell us about your snoring?
Oh man, yeah, that's been the best part for my wife. For years and years, I've always snored, always. Then all of a sudden, you know, maybe 3-4 weeks into the program, my wife tells me, you know, I stopped snoring altogether. You know, so, you know, I'm used to getting kicked, punched at the middle of the night, you know, so I'm losing sleep, she's losing sleep, getting angry at me. Yeah, that seemed to have gone. So that's been pretty amazing for me, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. When's the last time you were this weight?
Maybe high school? I don't even know what I weighed in high school, but I have to assume sometime during that part of my life, but it's been a very long time.
And I mean, obviously you already went far beyond the goal you originally set,
Mm-hmm.
but what's your goal now? Like, what's your plan?
Well, I don't think it's really a number, but you know, I'm starting to see some abs up here, which is great. I just want to get rid of that little tiny bit at the bottom there, and if I can just get flat through there, I mean, I don't care what the number is, the weight, I don't know what the number is going to be.
Right.
But it's just, if I can get rid of that, I mean, that'll be the best shape I've ever been in, period. You know, and at 35 years old, 36 next month, you know, this is the best that I've ever been. I mean, 20s were nothing.
How's your energy?
Really good. I have no complaints. During the work week, you know, that I thought was going to be the toughest part, not eating lunch. But during the work week, I don't even notice that I'm hungry or anything, just because, well, I'm keeping very busy with my job. And that's a good part of my job, is that I'm always kind of on the go and thinking a lot. But weekends get a little bit tougher, you know, when you're kind of around the house. But I've actually, interestingly enough, over the last couple of months, been doing a lot more house projects. So that's been pretty good in terms of getting some brownie points with the wife, being more active and doing good things for the house. So I just had more energy to do that. So maybe that was a subconscious thing, but I don't know. It's been the result of just the last 2 months.
Awesome. Well, I'm very proud of you, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for going on this journey with us.
All righty.
My name is Angela Kaleva, and I'm a wildlife biologist. My goals for this are to get down to a weight I can sit at comfortably for competition and not have to cut immediately beforehand, and I like to be a little more defined.
All right, so I'm here with Angela, who we all call Balls. And, you know, Balls started this, she was already one of my, as far as my clients go and one of the students, she already was in amazing shape. Didn't really have much to lose. But one of her main goals since we started together was getting into a lower weight class for competing in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And on the discipline diet, not only did she get to this goal, but she also competed, and I want her to tell everybody how she did.
I won, so that was good. But it was also how I felt coming up to the competition versus how I had gone into my previous competitions to get to a weight cut. You know, all the crazy weight loss you do, just don't drink water and basically starve yourself and sweat and sweat and sweat. And by the time you get to the competition, you're just like hoping, you know, doing any last ditch thing that you have the energy that you need to get through it. And I didn't feel like that at all. In fact, I was like, throw me some more matches. You know, I felt like I could have kept going, kept rolling. It wasn't just like this giant everything you have adrenaline dump. And I felt that good sense. And I actually think I put on muscle. I wasn't one of the bigger losers in the weight end of it, but everybody said to me, you know, oh, to get to that weight bracket, you're going to have to lose all your muscle and you're just going to just not have any strength at all. And that's absolutely not the case. I feel stronger. I feel faster. I feel like I have more energy to compete and to do well. So everything was basically junk because I've done exactly the opposite of what everybody said and everything else happened. So.
Yeah, I think too, you know, one of the things with Balls was just, she's always worked out super hard. And she'd work out super hard and still ate healthy. She just want to get like, you know, the striations in her muscles and the cuts and things like that. She kind of stayed the same. And, you know, during this journey, I've noticed a huge difference with how cut you are. And, you know, same thing, your strength and speed have gone up. So it's nice to see you kind of take the naysayers and just crush them down to size, you know? You know, again, it's just, you know, not to repeat it over and over again, but I think the true challenge of this diet is getting past, you know, that stigma. We're just all brainwashed to think these things are right, and there's not much scientific fact behind them. To say that a caloric number is right for an entire, all females need this number, all males need this number, doesn't make any sense because people are bigger or smaller, they have different weights they should be. With Balls here, one of the things that we experimented with was, obviously she's smaller than most people. So I said to her, you know, let's try something different. Let's go beyond that number that everybody says is a safe number for females. And that's when we really started noticing a huge change in everything for her. Like she said, none of us have been hospitalized. None of us have gotten sick. None of us have had all this horrible stuff happen to us that everybody said was going to happen to us. So it's just more proof that you know, this diet is the real thing, and that a lot of these things that we read every day are basically that's it. They're just things that we read every day. There's not much behind them. Anything else you want to say about the diet to people that are, you know, wanting to try it, or?
I still, like, I had tried a lot of different diets. I've tried a lot of different things that he recommended. I juiced. I did other diet programs. I even sold some of those diet products. I'm not saying that any of them are bad or they didn't work, but I didn't have the same results, and it wasn't something that I was able to sustain. The way you feel when you're on a diet, I feel like because I feel so good, I want to sustain it. Like, it's self-helping that you feel really good on it, so you want to keep going on it. So it becomes discipline and then habit and then like permanency, basically. So that, and even though I knew a lot about nutrition and I worked out a lot, and so those aspects weren't as challenging or as like overwhelming for me in the beginning, I still learned a tremendous amount from like watching everybody else in the group and about myself. I do not do dairy, apparently. And cutting that completely out, like other diets that I had never were like no dairy. This is the first time I was like no dairy. I think that had a huge effect on me. So I learned a lot too going into this.
So hopefully, Angela is actually working with the second group that's doing the diet right now, and she's kind of my assistant coach going forward. So hopefully, you all will get to know her on a personal level as well. And good job, Ballsy. No problem. Obviously, the point of this documentary was for everyone to experience and see people do this diet from the beginning to the end. And it's been an amazing journey. I'm very, very proud of everyone that did this diet. And since we shot the documentary, we've had even more. We've had lots of groups do the diet now, and everyone has been very successful. And of course, one part of doing this is sadly, you will see people who don't have the discipline, who just aren't ready to make that change in their life, and they'll drop out. And I wish those people luck. I hope that one day they find the strength and the disciplined diet to make that change in their life. But I couldn't be any prouder of the people who have achieved what they've achieved in this diet. We've had over 250 pounds lost in this documentary. The most impressive part was the measurements. If obviously as you watch the movie, you've seen a lot of people, their legs, their muscles got bigger, and their waists shrunk. A lot of people will tell you that's impossible. A lot of people will say like, oh, you can't target weight loss. You can't have someone's stomach get smaller without their arms getting smaller, without their legs getting smaller, without this getting smaller. You've seen it all before your very eyes. This isn't any movie magic, people. This is the real life thing. This is their journey. Every step of the process you've seen, we haven't made up anything. You've watched it. According to many, many, many doctors and many, many things you'll read on the internet and books, we should all be dead because none of us have eaten the correct amount of calories or the correct amount of protein or the correct amount of this. I should have no muscles. I shouldn't be able to squat. I shouldn't be able to perform, right? On this diet, I've competed in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournaments. I've won tournaments. I've lost tournaments. I've done amazing things with strength. I've done amazing things with speed. I haven't lost anything. Like I said before, I did a bod pod. I walk around between 6 and 8% body fat. I feel amazing. There's not one student I have that you can talk to that's going to tell you, oh, I rolled with Ed and he felt weak. Or I rolled with Ed, he felt like he had no energy. I live this lifestyle. I'm living proof. And now, besides seeing me, you've seen all these people live the diet and all the amazing results they got. And the incredible thing is, I've seen people doing this diet with no exercise at all lose tremendous amounts of weight and keep the weight off. I don't recommend that. I'm all about exercise. I suggest you do the diet and exercise. Hopefully there's a Discipline Fitness near you. If there's not, you'll be able to use the website. We're going to throw some workouts on the website as well. But you guys have the proof you need. All right? Again, there's no scientific studies being done here. There's no doctor. There's no nutritionist. All right? This is, you've seen it with your own eyes. You guys can decide if this is something you want to do, if you want to make this change. The most important thing for any diet is that you believe in yourself and you make the commitment that you want to make the change. And of course, you must have discipline. And I will never remove that word. Discipline is key for everything. If you want to be good at something, you must have